I really do appreciate it. So first question I've got then, so how has the program benefited you? If you think about where you started and where you are now, 12 months down the line, what were the light bulb moments? How has it helped?
Light bulb moments, Hector, can't talk highly enough about what we've been through the journey in the last 12 months. The small one was really when you said about positive psychology, about how the world views negativity first. But the main one was obviously the strength scope. Strength scope, never heard about it, didn't understand it, didn't know anything about it. But all of a sudden, when you talked me through that and showed me what my strengths were, bespoke to me, and what influence they could have on the business and on myself and behavior, it's energized, changed my outlook, made me more self-confident. Things that I didn't know I had, which I just took for granted. Now you've developed that I can see how, with working with other people, how I can actually build better teams, be a better communicator, be aware of other people's emotions, and basically be a better person in the form of a senior manager. Right. Because like I say, it's just the light bulb moment cannot be understated. And that's just, like I say, it's just they understand what strengths you have and how you can actually develop those strengths for the betterment of yourself as an individual and as a manager. That's it. Again, I could talk to you for the next 20 minutes about that. Yeah, but again, that's just how I see it.
It's fantastic. So the program that you've been on has been built around a series of coaching sessions across 12 months, as well as having access to 3 modules within our Adjust, Advance, Achieve course. So what you're talking about there is that first module where we do use a psychometric, strength scope psychometric as part of that module. So there's a lot of inner work that we do there, which is designed to help you learn more about your identity and what you bring to your role as a leader. So it's good to hear that module has had a good impact. What about the other modules then? So you've also completed 2 other modules in the course. So there was a Managing My Emotions, which is all about as a senior leader or managing senior leaders within your organization. There is pressure. And with that pressure means that at times we've got to be able to manage our emotions effectively. And then the third and final module that you completed was the quality conversations. So how we can improve the quality of the conversations with the people that we work with in our business. How have those modules helped you as well?
Again, they're very close to the light bulb moment in the sense that, first of all, managing my emotions. I didn't know about being in the box. I didn't know about triggers and state shifters and mind magnets. And again, it's just opening my mind that I'm looking at how I have previously behaved and how that could be affecting members of my team, colleagues, people in my general life. It's just, like I say, the benefits of the managing my emotions and actually being advised, if you're in the box, as you say, how to get out of the box or how not to get into the box in the first place. To me, that's invaluable, because in the modern day, you never know what's coming through your door or what the next email or next phone call means. And if you do go into that scenario of preconceived ideas, preconceived behavior strains, you can't honestly deal with it in a more professional or as professional as I can see I can deal with it now. And like I said, again, I never knew what a in the box state was. I never knew what a trigger was. I never knew, again, state shifters, what your actual mind thought of particular scenarios in life. And again, it's just been a complete awake. It's just like I say, life is different. And like I say, that's all I can say to you. At the end of the day, it's just a completely different way of looking at the whole aspects of your own behavior, but also your own management style. That is the inside of that. As regards quality conversations, again, I never knew there was so much thought had to go into basically the quality of the conversation, the planning of the conversation, the reaction of maybe a colleague coming back to me with a certain reply that's maybe I didn't like, which would lead to, again, the link to managing my emotions and how you deal with that. And the quality conversations keep, as again, going back, the link between the managing my emotions and the quality conversations can't be understated, because it stops you then having a negative effect on the relationship with your peer, your colleague, or your stakeholder. And that conversation, like I say, I never thought there was so much science behind it, but the linked up thinking, it just works. And again, I just know the conversations that will have in the future will be far more detailed, and the content will be more measured, that both parties will get something out of it.
Right. Great. It's really important, isn't it, when we're managing senior leaders across the business, you know, how we can spark and engage those individuals. So it's about how do we engage the people that report directly into us, and how do we engage our peers that we work with on a day-to-day that are part of our peer team, but then how do we then engage and get the most from those stakeholder conversations as well, which are really important if we want to deliver our plans. So it's good that you've seen a benefit across those modules, the course and the coaching. So thanks for sharing that. What about the impact that it's had on your team then? So if we think about your team, what difference have you seen there?
Yeah, the difference I've seen again is it's down to my own behaviour, in the sense of not having any preconceived ideas and walking into these one-to-one meetings which I've had over the past years on a monthly basis. It's about looking at the individual in a different way, in a different light, managing my emotions so I'm not again reacting to maybe answers that I don't want to hear, and actually having the skill set to actually what I call disagree, but disagree with their in a nice way, in the sense that it's diplomatic, it's not cutting somebody off, it's listening first, and then what I call like you say, rebooting or rerouting the conversation to an I can control to get a better opinion and a better understanding. The team has seen that, because as through the last year, I've highlighted them the journey that I was on, and they have seen that what I call now we were professional, but we have lifted the bar, and people understand now where I'm coming from in a clear sense. But again, it hasn't harmed our relationships, and they can see the benefits of that. And we do open it. It's an open door policy that I work with, and that has increased over the last year.
Great, because one of the things that you wanted to do was obviously communicate those expectations that you had of them, and those expectations, there's a form of challenge with those expectations. So it's about how do you engage individuals when you are challenging them a little bit more, because you have these expectations, and I know you've shared in the past that you've been able to do that. So that's fantastic, really good. What about the difference that's made then, if you're seeing that your team are clear on what's expected, but are more engaged now as a result of it because of how you've approached it? What's that what difference does that make to the business?
It's clearer for ourselves where we're going, Hector. It's clear in the sense of the expectations are correctly communicated. There's a more of a strategy, a plan, a goal, all those things that we were aware of, but now it's delivered in a sense that, one, they're clear what I'm saying to them, two, that I'm listening what they come back with, and then with respect, three, we carry it out and review. We just don't go blindfold for 6 months with nobody coming back. Everybody's now encouraged to come back and see how they see it at the time, go work with it, come back and see if there's anything we need to tweak. So like I say, that's where the benefit is, in the sense of moving forward in the car market, you always have to react. And like I say, something that works today mightn't work in 3 months' time. So it's being open to that, and having that, what I call, that the guys are confident to come back to me, and they buy into the strategy and the goal. But if they see something that isn't working, that they have to, they now, it was there before, but it's actually been polished in the sense of they know to come back, and we will review, go back to basics and start again if the actual plan isn't right. And again, it's just maintaining that there's no harm to the business, because we haven't annoyed anybody relationship wise, so the productivity doesn't drop when people switch off.
Right. And that's what the program's designed to do. It's designed to help a business become even more focused on what are the priorities through better goal setting, better objective setting. But we've talked before about it has to be dynamic, because things change, especially in your sector, but in other sectors as well. So we need to be dynamic where, you know, we might set and be clear on what that focus looks like. But if we don't stay close to it, we miss where things need to evolve, and we do need to evolve plans sometimes. So it's good that you're seeing that you've got that in place now, where people are more focused, the business is more focused, but you're also dynamic, where you can evolve what the focus is on. Good. So that's great. So it's good to hear the difference that it's made to you, the team, and the business. The important one for me as well is the difference that it makes between yourself and your line manager. And sometimes that can be an improvement in relationships. Sometimes that can be how well you just work together. What difference has it made between yourself and your line manager? What difference have you seen there?
Going right to the top, I would report to the two managing directors. In our company, it's Tony Fife and Leonard McCormick. Dealing with Tony in the past, I'll be honest, from the light bulb moment, dealing with yourself, I feel energized, positive, more confident. I see myself now that I'm better planning again with the quality of the conversation, thinking more before you go into meetings and actually have the results, thinking outside of the box and thinking what the stakeholder, as we might call it, is looking for. And like I say, the personal energizing that the courses gave me to deal with all people at different levels, I can't underestimate it or understate it as regards how it's changed with Tony. And he has passed over the last period of time. You can see a difference, which again ticks the box for me. It means it's something he's seen something different, which I've gleaned from your course. And again, there's recent events that have happened due to upsets in the business. I've been closer to him, but feel now confident when he walks through the door. Don't melt, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
When the managing director comes in, you're having a two-way conversation rather than a one-way conversation.
Yeah.
And your opinion was always respected, but you can now tell there's a bit more authority behind that. And there is, again, with the new role that I hope to fulfill in the next few months, the succession is now well founded. And like I say, it is down to this course again, with the modules that have all linked in. That's for saying, I know Tony himself has seen it in past comments. So again, it has just made me a better person, in the sense of professionally, for dealing with people like that. And that includes other key customers at the same level.
Absolutely. And the course is about that, isn't it? The course is about helping you be able to manage those emotions during some difficult conversations that you might have with customers, that you might have with your line manager, that you might have with your team. But it's also about how do you sell your ideas more effectively? How do you handle pushback? And those are the kind of things that we've been working on across that time. So it's good to see and good to hear that that's made a difference as well. Fantastic. So the final question I've got then is, we've talked a lot about business and we've talked about yourself. Have you seen any benefit outside of business? So even across life?
Probably. Don't know if I've seen benefits. The missus, my good lady, still falls out with me as frequently as ever. But that is just life. Sorry to be sexist. It's just funny. And I look at people in a different way on the golf course, maybe golf course with a regular four ball, or even how I come across. And so that's honest, because I say you can't, if something you're working with 5 days a week, you can't switch it off. And now I sort of analyze bits and pieces. Sadly, on a Sunday afternoon, and what he called talking to boys even over a few drinks on a Saturday evening, watching the football come in. It's just a different way now, Hector. I can't pinpoint anything, but I just know that if I got 6 people through the room, maybe guys I play golf with, the guys I drink with, and even colleagues, they'll say they've seen a difference. And it's just, I wouldn't want to pinpoint anything personally, but I just know it's helped.
Yeah. What I'm hearing there is about growth. So it's about how do you grow in role, but how do you grow in life as well? And it's about how do you bring your best self to the job and your role and what you need to deliver. But it's how do you bring your best self outside of the job as well? And that's what I'm really come across there. And that is about growth. And that's what the program is about. It's about how do we help not just leaders, but how do we help people grow?